Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's so nice to see you. I've been traveling a lot, but I am back for a hot minute, and I just wanted to review / do a first impressions with you guys of this makeup line called Nude by Nature. I recently went to one of their events and got gifted like a shitload of their stuff. So I wanted to test it out on camera with you, as well as do a first impressions, let you know what my favorite products are. I'm obviously wearing it all on my face right now. So if you want to hear about this makeup line, let's just jump right into it. Alright, so I currently have nothing on my skin. I'm going to start putting some of their primer on. I just have to say before we begin, their packaging is so pretty. It's all rose gold. But first we're going to use the Perfecting Eye Primer. Squeezing a little bit of that on my finger and putting that on and around. Just maybe even like a little bit under my eye. And then, of course, I'm going to go in with this before I put on the foundation. I'm also going to take a bit of that on my fingertips. And I'm going to put that like around my cheekbones and temples and stuff like that, just because that's where I really like to get extra shine. Like, I'm not one to really use powdered foundations. So the super interesting thing about this, my first time using it, so I have to take out the plastic, but it's clay based. If you just let it sit on your skin for a while, it doesn't have that matte powdery characteristic. It kind of like deepens and absorbs more into the skin to become more of like a flawless finish. So let's try it. Okay, I'm gonna use this foundation brush. So you dip it into the powder, then you're supposed to flip the brush over, bang it. Let me use something to bang it. Bang it so it actually goes deeper into the bristles, and then you apply it. So I'm just gonna start. So it's very light coverage. I'm not seeing too much powder. I would say light to medium coverage. I mean, look, it covered up the blue on my eyelid pretty well. I have pretty clear skin, so I think I could get away with this pretty easily. Especially if I didn't want to wear something that was full coverage, or if I was going out somewhere and just quickly wanted to do like my face without like going too much in depth with my eyes or anything. Alright, so now that I've added that, we can do some concealer. So the concealers that they have, super interesting. So they have this one, which is a perfecting concealer. And then they also have Flawless Concealer Shell Beige. And I guess it just depends on which ones you like to use. So like this one, we'll try under here, because it is a little bit peachy, which means that it could cover some blueness. Okay, and I'll just buff that in. And then I'll put some of this, the Perfecting Concealer. Add that using a 195 brush to start. And this is actually a little bit lighter, so I like a little bit lighter, especially on the inner corner. Don't worry, I'm gonna fix this. I'm just putting it on generously. And then I'll just buff it in with this. So I guess I would prefer, if I had to pick one of the concealers, I would probably pick this one. I like the liquid better because I just can move it around and I find it more malleable. But they don't have a bronzer, or at least I didn't get one. So I'm just going to use a new bronzer that I got from GUERLAIN. It's the Terracotta bronzer. I actually have been using their blush for a while. I think so I got this stuff maybe like a month ago, and I brought this with me to Belize on my last trip, and I was using it while I was there, and it's like the perfect peach color. This is one of my favorite things, definitely, from the line. I really like it. It looks really good on my skin tone as well. So like, if you have to get anything from this line, that I've tried so far, I would say definitely this. It's called Soft Coral. And I have been trying their highlighter, which are pretty decent. I actually don't mind them. Are they my favorite highlighter? That's a big ask. So you get 3 highlights in it. Let's put some highlighter on, shall we? I'm just gonna take this little NYX brush that I got, and I'm just gonna take this light one right here. And I mean, it's not bad. It's like subtle. It's not like as powerful as my other highlighters. I'm gonna go in now with the peach blush that I was mentioning earlier. Okay, this is my school blush brush. See, like it's just such a nice blush color. So far, so good. This is looking pretty natural. Now we're gonna use the Nude by Nature Natural Wonders Eye Palette. It's pretty interesting looking because, let's just go through this palette quickly. There's these 2 blue colors, which I'm not really quite sure why they're there. Because like they're the only kind of non like natural nude colors. There's also 3 mattes and then the rest are shiny. Well, these blues are not shiny. But again, they're blue. I'm not quite understanding why they chose blue. But I would have thought like maybe like a purple or something easier to play with, especially when you have all of these like browns. And then like, okay, this is okay as an inner corner highlight and this is like for smokiness, but I don't know. I don't think that this is not like this palette necessarily makes all that much sense, but let's try and use it and see how that goes and put that to the test because that's the true test. This feels a little dark for me, but whatever, let's try it. This is my Smith 232. Yeah, Smith 232. And I'm gonna place it in my crease as a transition color. Okay, so first of all, to me, that first color is a little too dark to be a first color. I would have much preferred to go with something a little bit more, like even the pinks that are in here, if they were mattes, I would have gone in with them first. I just find that this, as my only option for a crease color that is matte, this is a little too dark, personally. But with that being said, I'm obviously already started, so I'm gonna switch brushes to a smaller quill brush. This one's going to be the 230 from Smith. It's just a smaller brush and it's like easier to get in there. Sophie is snoring in the corner. I'm gonna take that same color and just work it into my crease and bring it out. So next I'm going to take this peachy color right here. I'm just gonna use this flathead brush. It's a Japonesque brush to kind of lighten that up. In terms of the palette, I'm finding that there is a bit of kickback, but the shadows are buildable. I wouldn't say they're like overly pigmented, but they are easily blendable. Which again, like if you are a beginner at makeup and you're just like, you know, getting into things, you probably want something that's not necessarily super pigmented, but blendable and easy to build up. You know, just so that you don't go overboard easily and you can play and also have like a certain level of forgiveness. They actually do have these loose eyeshadows, which I do love, but I'm gonna use that same brush. It has a little doe foot, which I don't necessarily think is the best applicator because it'll like, it just sprinkles. I've used this before, obviously. It just sprinkles all over, you know, the under of your eye. So I'm just going to put this a little bit on the palette and then take it on that same Japonesque brush that I was using earlier. I do like these loose pigments, I'm gonna say. Like, they really bring it. Now I'm just gonna put some brows on. So they do have a brow pencil. It's literally a pencil. It's not one of those like precise brows or like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. It's like just a legit pencil. Okay, so I quickly just did my brows. I'm really surprised actually how pigmented this pencil was. It just like, without really having to go in too much. Most of my other brow pencils, I actually have to like build it up. This one actually like put down a lot of pigment quite quickly, and then I just have to like brush it out and then go back and then brush it out. It's the only way you can make it look more natural. But the colors are pretty decent. I mean, I don't think that this is something that I'll definitely be reaching for. Sometimes you just get used to doing things a certain way and it's hard for you to like break those certain habits. I prefer more of a precise pencil and I prefer to build it up. They also have like a bunch of like these really cute pink to red shades of lipsticks. These are their glosses. I have a couple of their lipsticks. This is Pink 03, which is a sheer glow. A creamy matte lipstick in coral pink. So they have some beautiful pinkish colored lipsticks. I feel like this line was designed for someone with fair skin. I don't necessarily, like, I noticed that they didn't really have a foundation that went like dark enough for someone who was like Indian or black, but yeah, like I think this line is really designed for someone with fair skin. I'm gonna go ahead and just use this blush beige lip gloss. I obviously don't have everything from the line, but from what I have used, I do have some favorites. That being, of course, the blush, the sheer illuminator, the loose pigments. I do like their concealer, and their lip glosses are very cute. I like them. I will probably throw one of these in my bag and wear it often. I do have their mascara. I guess I could put that on quickly, so let's put that on. Okay, so I quickly just threw some mascara on. I prefer something that's gonna give me bigger lashes or like bolder lashes. I didn't find that with this one. Anyways, so that brings us to the end of our tutorial. I hope you had fun learning about this new makeup line, because I know I did. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye-bye!